Okay, back with Part 16.
You rest inside my mind since the day you came. I knew you would be with me all the time we spent. What we shared was
Rewatching all this gameplay kind of does a good job of reminding me all the things I still have to do in the game.
so you
I kind of rush to the end for the sake of having the story kind of more easily digestible, where there are
You
these
know
massive
something?
breaks
When
where
you
I
get
go
mad,
off and do side
you sure
quests.
do remind me of your sister.
Careful. She might be watching you now.
Kupo?
Hope we are returning to a better future.
Kupo?
I'm sure of it.
Yeah, just got to finish off the rest of the game, and then I can start doing all the side quests and start training for the Colosseum. So we've unlocked a new
Sarah and
academia.
Noel have changed the future. The Protophile Sea that threatened academia is no more, and in the sky floats the 13th Ark. The people have built a society with their own hands, using technology of their own devising. However, the day when Cocoon is prophesied to fall is drawing closer. The Academy has put into motion an ambitious project to avert the catastrophe.
Academia is one of the most impressive places in the game. It's the best example of this not being a afterthought, or like, a thrown together cash grab. Because they did take the combat system, the party structure, the paradigms, everything from FF13. They used some similar settings,
We did it.
but they're not
We
identical.
actually did it.
And they also
I think you must be
reuse
happy
settings. Like they'll have like the same place, but
This is what you wanted to see.
200 years later, 300 years later.
Welcome
which
to
I don't
the
even
future, you
mind.
say. Are they real?
Kupo? Kupo? Kupo?
Now, is that a polite way to greet old friends? I mean, we haven't seen each other in what? How many years?
It's been all of 390 years. I guess you guys have been busy, huh?
Please come by my headquarters when you get a chance. You're guests of the Academy. Alyssa?
Later! Kupo.
But I don't think there's anywhere in
Where do we find the
FF13
Academy head office?
that's like the Academy.
Probably the most impressive looking building. What about that one?
Yeah, I wonder if it's the biggest building we've never been to. And the first time you go to Academia, everything's hostile everywhere, and
After all
you
said and
barely
done,
you barely get a
handled the
second in between
Protophile Sea
fights,
pretty well.
so you can't
What did you
really
do
appreciate it as
I
much.
sort of have an idea of what happened, but I can't really explain it. It was more of a hunch, really.
A hunch. Well, we won, and that's what matters, I guess.
There's a few moments where I'm running through here, and I suddenly realize I'm just running through here. Like, I should be looking at stuff. And I'll take like a peek around, also looking for treasure and stuff. I hate to miss things. I missed something Let me see how close I get to it. Because I have to come back and get it later. It's just to the... Oh, no. If I had gone right, I might have seen it.
How do you use this navigation map thingy anyway?
I always look for the tricky spots. Like, I'll see a bunch of boxes and I'll check behind them. Or like a little corridor, I'll check to make sure there's no treasure there.
He used to be the director.
But because of that, I never look at the obvious stuff. And I'll walk past treasure all the time. Oh, this is sad. I should know more FF trivia.
An Academy-sponsored quiz game. We are currently accepting entries.
This is one thing I have to go back and finish. Because you have to beat... I'm not sure how many, 10 questions, I think, in a row on 5 or more terminals. I can only assume that each one gives you a fragment.
Accepted. Answer all questions correctly and receive a fabulous
Which is what you
prize.
really want. At this point,
Bend your mind
once
to
the game is
task
over,
and aim for a perfect score.
I feel
Here
like
is your first question.
farming EXP and fragments is like step 1. Yeah, some of these questions are really
Question
easy.
2.
Some of them are a little tricky. Like this one, I'm not sure when you'd find this out. I guessed correctly. Just because there's certain things, like dyeing it for extra durability sounds dumb. It's covered in rhinestones. He's not known for having rhinestones.
Congratulations.
So,
Question
you can
3.
kind of whittle them down a little bit. But there's no consequence for guessing wrong. I knew that Lobo was a wolf. I didn't know what any of the other ones were. The Phalanx is a giant robot.
Also correct. Question 4.
I knew this because I wear lightning clothes in FF14. I knew that's their hip. That's where all the feathers come off of.
Correct. Question 5.
Just another guess. They all say sleepy, dozy, snooze, and one of them doesn't say that. So I was like, if it's caffeine filled, it's probably not going to be called dozing donuts.
Keep it up. Question 6.
Huh. I don't know if you can get this one wrong.
Correct.
Always bet on black.
Question 7.
I guessed an air bike because it's the only one that makes sense in a chocobo race. You wouldn't have an airship or like a human.
Correct. Question 8.
Yeah, I guess the government held. It's probably residential determination. Or maybe abundance of goods. Either one of those could be right.
This concludes our quiz. Unfortunately, we hope you had
And then
fun
I tried
playing
again just because I was curious if the questions would all be the same. And if they were, then I'd be able to ace it real quick on a second go. But no, they change it every time. So, whatever. I'll probably do it on stream or something. Just like fun running around doing all the mini games. I mean, it could be a video, but it doesn't have to be. Because even if you are having trouble with these and you watch me do it, you would still only get my answers, not necessarily your
Question 3.
answers. Oh, got the same one.
Also correct. Question 4.
Tonberry what? I think I said sight. Being oblivious to small everyday occurrences. Sounds like a Tonberry sight. Like Mr. Magoo.
This concludes
That was wrong, though. At this point, I was just like, okay, it was going to go one of two ways, and it went the other way. I don't want to spend all day, you know, because I just want to reinforce that this video series, up until I think it's like episode 24 or 25, it's just for the sake of the story. If I stopped every time I got a side quest and did all the side quests, then by the time I get back to the story, we would like forget things about it. Like, who's that? What were we doing? I wanted to just like tell the story, and then after that,
I hear Academia
I'm gonna
is
do
the place
everything
to be
else.
if you love big cities.
I'm gonna do the
You
Colosseum
can do everything
fights.
through a touchscreen panel.
And then you get all the
I'm magical
fragments.
too. I can even prove it.
do all the side quests, unlock all the areas, explore all the areas, fight all the super bosses. I know there's a
Thank you
Longi
and thank you.
turtle I gotta fight still. There's a giant cactuar, which probably isn't that hard, but I still have to do it. He kicked the crap out of me the first time, but I could see how I could potentially handle it. It's just he does big damage attacks very frequently to single targets, and it disables a target, so you can't use magic or physical attacks. So either somebody's got to be Asuneing that, or I got to use items if there's like maybe a remedy or something that heals all status effects. Maybe there's a way to like prevent it if there's like an item that'll prevent certain status effects, namely being disabled. Heads up, I do a pretty thorough investigation of this town. I don't check everywhere, but I'm trying to at least like chart the map. It's good though, you get to see the coolest city in the game. The coolest area. I would say Academia, when it's being overrun by monsters, is slightly cooler, but you have less of a map. You don't have like the big building at the end, and it's hard to really appreciate it. Like I said, you're just always in combat, so you know, you get out of combat and then you have about 3 seconds to like look around, and then the Mog clock goes off. Did you really think it was gonna be that easy?
I wish I had that.
Everything's fine. Whoa.
But I feel like with a lot of the areas in this game, you know, they'll be like, oh, well, what should we do for this? And they're like, oh, let's just take all the textures and, you know, color scheme and stuff from the original 13, and we'll make an area that's kind of similar, use all the same resources, like benches and things. And then they're like, hey, now what do we do? And they're like, okay, well, let's take the exact same area and we'll just make it a little darker. We'll make it like dusk. And we'll change the monsters, block off certain areas, which ends up being kind of a fun part of the game, because you'll get to an area and you'll see like all these areas are blocked off and there's no way to get around. And it's like, well, what do they want me to do? Like, and then eventually you go to like the future of that place, and now these areas aren't blocked off anymore. So that's how you can kind of not just explore them, but then like answer the question of like, what's beyond this barrier? Cha-ching! Master Commando. I wonder if it is possible to get into 6-digit health in this game. I've seen people make it to 5. There is an extra 0 there. Kind of implies that it's possible. It might take some specializationing, though. She full potential at rank 2. What a shame. Find myself a new Ravager. And of course, there's only one right answer. Honestly, the only reason I didn't take a Chocobo for Commando is just because Red Chocobo doesn't seem as cool as Behemoth. And I think Behemoth can make it to rank 5, so that's really the only thing you need. I guess one thing I probably need to learn where to farm is the grade 4 potent monster food. Because you can buy it, but you can't buy the potent one. You can only buy it like Vitality or Magic or whatever. Which I think is the wrong answer. Like, if you go attack, it'll give you like 6 attack, and if you go potent, it'll only give you 4 attack, but it'll also give you like 20 HP and like 4 magic damage and etc, etc. So, and everybody uses everything. Even though Noel is like the commando specialist, high physical damage type of dude, he does his fair share of ravaging as well. Same thing with Sarah.
Hello there.
All clear.
So, I mean, it's reasonable to assume that your monster companion... Actually, I don't know if that's true, because if I'm using my Ravager and I'm boosting their physical damage, they're never going to use that, because the person who does physical damage is the Behemoth. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm sure there's some kind of science. I definitely think I built my characters wrong, from what I've seen. That, like, you get stat bonuses based on what class you're in when certain events happen. Like when you paradigm expand and stuff.
Twisted so the gate can't manifest itself, Kupo. When the future
So there's like a whole chart on
the gate will be fixed, Kupo.
when to level up which
Future makes certain.
classes.
Does that mean we should help the Academy with their
And,
important job?
Kupo!
I don't know. I'm sure the game can't be designed so you have to do that to beat it, or to, like, you know, maybe to have the highest strength, but you're in exchange for not having the highest strength, I'll have much higher health or magic damage, you know? It's like, who's to say what's best, even if something is the meta, it's not necessarily the best. It is statistically, and that's not everything.
Jumping 400 years into the future must be a bit unnerving. I know you must have a lot of questions.
This is really cute. Hey, look at that.
Mm, floating box. Oh my god. One thing about this game that is my fault, but it still bothers me, is oftentimes I'll explore an area, I'll get a ton of items, most of which I don't know what they do. It'll just be like a medical kit and a hammer. And then later I'll get a mission that's like, I need to find my medical kit, and I'll forget that I found it already. And so I'll just look around for like, you know, a half an hour for it.
Hope told us that he invented a machine called a time
And then I'll go
capsule.
back to the
That's how they
person to
got
see what their
here.
dialogue said, and they're like, oh, you found my
Back in 13
hammer.
AF, Hope devised a plan to build an artificial Fal'Cie. It was called the Proto-Fal'Cie Project. He wanted to use the new technology to re-levitate Cocoon. But then one day, Hope saw a certain prophecy in the Oracle Drive.
So I activated the Oracle Drive and watched the prophecy. I saw you fighting the Proto-Fal'Cie, and I saw you screaming out at me. Your machines are driving me nuts.
Well, I was getting pretty ticked off by that point.
Well, exactly. So we were forced to reevaluate the project and eventually abandon it.
Okay, you saw Sarah getting mad at you, so you canceled your project, and then poof, the Proto-Fal'Cie disappeared. Is that about right? We didn't destroy it so much as it never existed in the first place.
We were
That's
following
why
the wrong
yelling
path
at
to the future.
Hope worked.
If the Proto-Fal'Cie had managed to get control of Cocoon, it would have made itself the second Eden, and we'd be back where we began.
Yeah. It would have been just like how it was on the old Cocoon.
We realized we couldn't let that happen. We had to levitate Cocoon using only human technology.
Right. Not to mention that if you had kept with the original plan, your machines would have killed you.
Really? Then we owe you our lives. Thank you.
Funny, you lose your temper and the whole future changes.
Over there, Mom.
They should do
Oh?
One thing this game is good at is like, if you can see something on screen, you can see it. Like, you don't have to like get close to see like a floating orb in the distance or whatever. It doesn't have like a draw distance that you can't see. And that applies to like the invisible items, the ones that have like a shimmer. Sometimes I'll just be standing there and I'll look like a ridiculously long distance and I can see a tiny little thing, just this little bobbing, shimmering thing up on a cliff edge somewhere. That's usually my biggest gripe when they sort of hide items like that. And then they also have like a low draw distance where like you have to walk all the way up to the edge of the cliff to see the shimmer.
So, I bet you're dying to know how we came to the future, huh?
Kinda.
You've heard about the time capsule we used? It's a device that slows down time only for its occupants. The effect is caused by the creation of a powerful gravitational field and, well, essentially we just slept as the outside world flashed forward into the future.
This capsule of yours, it can't take you back, can it?
Unfortunately not. And considering it broke down after a single use, I doubt it'll prove to be a popular method of time travel.
You risked your own life for the sake of Cocoon.
Oh, the director was there with me. Hey, Sarah. After coming to the future myself, I think I understand how you must feel. The Academy has welcomed us with open arms, and we can research as we always have, but sometimes I get these terrible anxiety attacks.
Alyssa,
Please, Sarah, you have to let me apologize for the way I treated you in the past. Maybe you can't forgive me for that, but I hope as fellow time travelers, we can face the future on friendly terms.
Face the future.
The The Academy has made progress on its investigation into the 13th Ark. At this stage, there is good news and there is bad news.
Let's hear the good news first.
We've discovered that the Ark's reactor is powered by an ore cluster known as the Graviton Core. By collecting these, there's a possibility that the new cocoon will be up in the sky in no time.
That is good news.
Yeah, okay. So now you gotta hit us with the bad news.
Each ore cluster provides only a certain amount of power. The 13th Ark, for example, requires a single graviton core. We're going to need multiple cores that we can't seem to find.
Need a hand with the search?
If there's one thing we're good at, it's looking for weird objects.
We could use the help. With you two on the case, we'll have those cores in no time.
I'll put together some data on Graviton cores. Check in with the Academy front desk.
So when I talk to her, it seems like I already have a graviton core. I wonder where I got it, or if it's just like a quest item that is also a graviton core or something. Let's see. Graviton core beta. I can actually look up where that was.
If you don't mind, I'll just take a sliver for my research. Did I tell you? The director is inventing a new device.
The Academy has been making progress on the development of a paradox weapon. A very powerful weapon that feeds on time-distorting energies.
Using a paradox against itself, huh?
Exactly. There's a possibility we may come up against the man who appears in the Oracle Drive recordings. The war has already begun, and we're fighting to protect the future itself.
A battle to the end against
I don't remember this ever coming
But,
back.
Director, didn't you say you were missing
They
a
ever mentioned
certain
it again.
material?
A Chaos Crystal. It's a solidified chunk of paradox energy.
Oh,
But according to the data,
the Chaos
it doesn't
Crystal is the
exist
one
in
from the
this time period.
casino.
Well, hey, you've still got us.
I need like
And
7,000
we've got
more
the Historia
tokens.
Crux.
I knew I could count on you. Once you found the crystal, I can build you a prototype.
Okay, so that's the only one I didn't
The
get. Plus,
technology to raise the new cocoon
there's
into
one
the sky is already
graviton
there.
crystal or whatever that I didn't get, but you
As
only
soon as
need
we have all
5
the
out of the
graviton
6.
cores, we'll have the power source we need. Thanks again. What would we do without you?
Alyssa and I decided to come to the future to observe the 13th Ark, the structure that appears in the sky of this time period.
That thing that's floating above us now?
Yes. In the end, we abandoned the idea of restoring the old cocoon. Instead, we plan to build an entirely new shell. Of course, there's still the problem of how to keep such a creation airborne.
A whole new
Why does it have to
cocoon.
be airborne?
That's an ambitious plan.
Sure is. And that's why you're here, to find out what keeps the Ark afloat.
Exactly. When we learned of the Ark's appearance through the Oracle Drive, we had to come and see it for ourselves.
Like, why can't you just make more places for people to live?
There are so many important things I need to talk to you two about. So many, in fact, I'm not really sure where to start.
So tell me, is there really no way to stop the crystal pillar from breaking?
These 400 years haven't been kind to it. At this rate of erosion, we can expect the pillar to topple within the next century.
The prophecy can't be stopped?
We're doing what we can to minimize the damage. In the meantime, we'll complete the new cocoon and conduct a full-scale evacuation. Our project will provide a new home for the human race.
When the pillar finally breaks, what will happen to Vanille and Fang?
We'll save them. The pillar's fall will be catastrophic, but it's also the one chance to free our friends.
I hope it works.
As do I. I miss Fang's strength and Vanille's smile. Where did your travels take you?
We ended up at a casino called Serendipity. Have you heard of it, Hope?
There's an ancient legend that mentions a palace by that name. The story itself is incomplete, and nobody knows how it's supposed to end.
So it's a paradise that was never finished, huh?
Right. But we won't be letting our story end halfway through. You actually managed to find a graviton core. With a few more clusters, we'll be able to float Cocoon. Special deliveries from another time period. Maybe you should start up a business. Please hand any graviton cores to Alyssa.
Once we have a Chaos Crystal, we should be able to develop a new weapon.
Ooh, I want that. I want that so bad. There's so many things though. It's 7,500 for that, and then it's another 7,500 for a wild artifact at the casino. And then there's other things, and all of those things have achievements associated with them. So I think, and you know, technically I have to get everything. It's gonna be like 35,000 casino credits or whatever in the end. It's gonna take a while, but I want to prioritize getting the Chaos Crystal. All right, here's where we find out where all the cores are.
What is it? Alyssa told me all about you. You're helping us find the graviton cores, isn't that right? And perfect timing. I just got an update with the latest info.
Tell me, is this ore stuff really that hard to find?
Oh, yes. The Academy have sent survey teams all over the place. They've searched everywhere, but they haven't found a shard of the stuff. But according to this latest data, our scientists use resonance imaging to identify a possible deposit. So we do have a defined location where a team can start looking. But it's just...
It's just what?
Well, it's kind of in a different time.
Obviously.
Sounds like a job for us, all right. Here, show me that data.
Yeah, now they're gonna show us where all the different cores are. They were surprisingly easy to find. There was one, that place like Orbra. There's one in 200 AF and one in 400 AF. And I just assumed that there wouldn't be 3 Aorbas. So when I unlocked 300 AF, I ran around for a long time looking for one, and obviously never found it. There's the first one. That one is pretty easy to find. They show you in the picture where it is. It's on that roof. You don't even have to guess. It's actually a little tricky to get it on the roof, but... And then Academia, they also show you where it is, but that could be anywhere, you know? Like, there's so many places that look like that. It ends up being right next to the portal where you come out of. You take 5 feet, when you walk 5 feet and then you look down to the left and it's right below you. Another pretty easy one to find. I mean, they're all like, none of them are hidden. That's the main thing. They put them around the map randomly, seemingly randomly. Like, they're not in like, they don't stand out, but there it is. There's 400 AF looks a lot like 300 AF. But yeah, I mean, you know, if you can't find it, chances are you're either in the wrong place or you're just not looking very closely. If you're used to finding invisible boxes, you should be able to find these. Because, like I said, They're like invisible boxes, but not hidden. They're like in plain sight. I never got this one. I still haven't even unlocked this place yet. It's where you fight the big tomato flan. It's like 100 years after.
We changed the future, but it still needs our help. I bet we can find that ore.
They need a way to lift the new cocoon into the sky, and we can help them do it. Maybe that's why we've been brought here.
Kupo!
Yeah, so anyway, tune in next episode and we will find some cores, some graviton cores.